Hey guys, welcome back to day 10 of 25 Days of Christmas with TJ 2023. So far, again, we've been looking at a lot of modern diesels, but today we're going to be diving in deep into something that's actually really neat to me, and some engines that I didn't have for a long time, even though I was so involved with the event. But as you can tell, it's Norfolk Southern Heritage units. I didn't have these for a long time. My dad had actually had the Southern that I bought from him, Pennsylvania in the Lehigh Valley, and I just never really got one. And then recently I decided, I worked the event. I was there for 4 days. Why don't I have one? So I went on the hunt, bought the Southern from my dad, and then came across the Illinois Terminal, which is one that I didn't think I was going to actually really like. And I really prefer the model over the real one, but the model just really stands out to me. I love the stripes on the front. And then obviously the third one being the Penn Central. Um, as I said, I did work the Heritage event, staff T-shirt, cool, woo.
Oh, brother!
But all seriousness, I did work it. I was there for 4 days. It was a brutally hot summer. It was long, long hot days, but really awesome event. Once in a lifetime. Is really what the best way to explain it. Um, but I did work the event, and the reason why I had been hunting a Penn Central and wanting it so bad isn't that I'm a Penn Central fan. Some of the engines for the Heritage event were so new that they came down from LaGrange and two straight to the event. And the Penn Central, I actually watched them the night before the Heritage event officially opened. I watched some of the guys from NS actually touch up and fix some of the decals that got messed up and do some touch up work on it and fixed it. So I just thought that was really neat, and a cool memory for me was actually watching that happen to the Penn Central engine. Um, the Illinois Terminal, like I said, wasn't exactly my favorite of the Heritage engines, but it does translate well to a nice model. And me being the prototypical guy that I've become, I found some videos of the Penn Central 1073 and the Illinois Terminal 1072 actually running together in revenue service. And I thought that was pretty neat. The black and the green with the yellow striping really contrasts well. And I thought it was just a cool train. So I was like, you know what? Cool. That'll work. And then obviously the Southern, I do have Southern in my collection. I live in the former Southern Territory, and I just think it's a really sharp paint scheme. The green tuxedo just really, I don't know, it just looks good. I like it. I have actually weathered the Southern and put Katie's on it. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to weather the other ones, but that's a project for another day. But sitting here with me, um, this was the 30th anniversary pin set. It's got every single railroad heritage unit pin in there. But probably the coolest thing is this little copper plaque, and we'll dive in and take a closer look at that here in just a second. But again, I think the Heritage event was probably one of the coolest things I was ever a part of. It was really cool, really awesome, and obviously there's thousands and thousands of photos out there, so I won't add any of that in here. But everybody knows about it. But I think it was really cool for me just because I was a part of it and I actually worked it, and I saw all of them firsthand when they were brand new. So let's go ahead and take a closer look here at the models that I do have. So this was given to me by Wick Mormon himself. They had a little event or a little ceremony at the event, and handed them out to those of us that worked there and shook our hand and thanked us for being a part of it. But it says Railroading's Big Ticket, July 3rd through 4th, 2012, on the turntable at Spencer, North Carolina. Norfolk Southern and the North Carolina Transportation Museum brought together 20 locomotives painted in historic color schemes of NS predecessor railroads for the family portrait. This once in a lifetime gathering commemorated Norfolk Southern's 30th anniversary. Thank you for making it happen. Now for the items that you guys are all here for and actually want to see and not hear me babble about my knickknacks and keepsakes. But here are the engines. Obviously, they are MTH Proto 3 models. We have the Southern ES44 and the Illinois Terminal SD70 Ace in frame here, and just behind it is the Penn Central SD70 Ace. The Penn Central SD70 Ace is actually a non-powered unit. I do have plans to potentially make it a powered unit because Heritage units should be lead engines in my opinion, but that's a bridge to cross for another day. Like I said, the Illinois Terminal was an engine that I wasn't particularly a huge fan of. as the prototype, but the model just kind of speaks out to me. The big green engine with the yellow stripes on the nose, it just pops. I just really like it, and it just looks good going around the layout. Um, the Southern, of course, is a an engine that has significant meaning to me, being that I do live in the former Southern Territory. I am involved with the Transportation Museum, and the Southern is, of course, just a sharp looking engine. So I have weathered it, put Katie's on it. I'm potentially going to do that to the other ones. At minimum, they will all have Katie's in the near future. But I just think these are really sharp looking engines and really glad to have them be a part of my collection. And then last but not least is the Penn Central SD70 Ace. Like I said, this one is a non powered, but I do have plans to potentially in the future power it up. Again, Penn Central obviously is not the biggest fan favorite. Um, I just think it actually looks really good as a model. And as I said earlier, watching them touch it up and fix the decals that were on the engine the night before the Heritage event officially opened, it was just really cool for me to be able to have the model and be able to remember. Oh yeah, I watched them fix the nose art or the tail art. It's just it was kind of cool to me. Maybe it's just me being a nerd, but whatever. I think it's just really cool. But let's go ahead and pass it over to 3RailTom. Uh, he's got some Heritage engines, and he decided he'd like to share why he got his and what makes them mean something to him. So I'm gonna go ahead.
All right, TJ, you got me in front of a camera finally. When you texted me the other day and you said you wanted to collaborate, I'm smart. I could read between the lines. I knew that you were just too lazy to do the entire video, so you wanted your buddy Tom's help. I've already written up a bill. I'll be sending it to you tomorrow. So if you can bring cash down in January to pay for it, we can square away then. That's fine with me. Or we can make this go away if a Pennsylvania Heritage unit were to, I don't know, just appear on my porch from your dad's collection. No, in all seriousness, thank you for letting me be a part of this. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tom. I go by 3RailTom here on YouTube and on Instagram. And I'm going to talk to you about what the NS Heritage program means to me and why we're standing next to these two right here. When it was first announced, I'm not going to lie, I was actually out of following what was going on in the railroad world. I definitely wasn't in the hobby. It was kind of that transition from when I was in high school to going into college and then also getting involved with my career. So I didn't really start doing a lot of the research until now. But when I actually started doing the research, I was very happy to see that they did the entire lineup of the Heritage units, which is every single one of the fallen flags, that inevitably got wrapped up into one another and is now all under NS. Going into it, I could appreciate the fact that we were trying to preserve that heritage of what actually made NS what it is today. And after seeing some of the pictures of the real units, I got to appreciate some more than others. Let's start with the New York Central. So I have a special appreciation for this one because I'm being from New York. Let's just be real. I have a soft spot for anything that's New York Central. And I also like this unit a lot because of the prominent lightning stripe on the side. It does not do any justice as a trailing unit. When this thing leads, it looks angry and aggressive, and I love that. So I don't think I will ever run this as a trailing unit in any train that I'm running. And on the other hand, I also have the NS Heritage, which, funny story, I actually hated it. I think it was my least favorite of them all, but it quickly grew on me. And I think it's because it's very similar to my EPC ES44, which has that like red with the gold and yellow accents. But and also I love ES44s, so when it came up for the right price, I had to pull the trigger on it. And just a funny story, so these two engines were also purchased with Cousin It, or the Illinois terminal that TJ owns. So they're all sister units. But they were all brand new in the box, and they showed up for a good price. We didn't have to pay $600 for an engine that has a story, or no box, or missing detail, or anything. These things were in great shape when we got them. I'm very thankful again that TJ was able to coordinate that. Unfortunately, it opened a can of worms up, and I have a third unit that is on its way. That's the Norfolk and Western ES44. But when I do get that, I think I'm good for a bit until I save up a little bit and get the Heritage unit from TJ's dad, which is the Pennsylvania engine. With that being said, I'm going to shut up now so we can get into the good stuff, which is running the trains. And yeah, thank you again for this opportunity. I look forward to seeing you in future videos.